How is everyone doing today? It is currently May 31st of 2023. Our yard is pretty much installed over the past month. Today, what I want to talk about is tomatoes, and we got quite a few different varieties, so I probably better get straight into it. What we did is we planted up 18 varieties of tomato this year. Before I tell you what varieties we planted, I wanted to mention a couple that it didn't make it into the yard. One of them was a sprout we got from a local nursery called I keep forgetting what it was called. It's the Arkansas Traveler. That one almost made it into our yard. That's the last variety of tomato plant that didn't make it, and a good chance that that one won't make it to our yard this year. Saw a lot of people grow it. It looks like a really fun grow. If a spot opens up for some reason or something falls back, we'll be throwing that one in. Two more varieties that would have took us to 20 different varieties are the Tiny Tim and the Minute. Those are both micro dwarf tomato varieties, and really good. We've grown those in the wintertime indoors, everything else like that. When it came time to put them out, after growing them for several years consistently, we've been getting tomatoes off of them even in the cold season. The Tiny Tim and the Minute, we just running up into this spot here. I think last year they grew right here. But the Tiny Tim and Minute, we ended up giving out to friends to grow micro tomatoes that can be grown easily indoors. Both types are really good. To us, the Minute is the better flavored, and the Tiny Tim is a little bit of the better grower. But both of them are high recommends if you have very little space. You can grow them in the cups inside and actually pull tomatoes off in the cold season and stuff. So we've gotten bowls of little cherry style tomatoes from the Minute and Tiny Tim, and kind of disappointed that it make it in our yard. I would like to have hit 20 different varieties, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So let me tell you about the 18 types we do have planted. We have 10 major types that you would consider the heirloom indeterminate style larger plant tomatoes, and then we have 8 types that come from the dwarf tomato project. And I'll start off with the dwarf tomato project tomatoes because they're right up front here. We'll just start right here. These 2 pots will actually make it over to here, but right now I got all the tomato varieties except for one on this row right here. So this dwarf tomato right here is called the Mocha's Cherry. It only gets about 3 or 4 foot tall. This is the one that's new to us. It's called the Strawberry Lemonade Dwarf. Never tried that one out before. We always try a new one each year to add into the mix. Almost all of our seeds are planted from our saves from previous years, so it gives us an opportunity also, if it's not true to type, to take a look at it. But that's the Mocha's Cherry. There's 2 of them in there. They'll get really small. These other ones will get they can get up to 4 or 5 foot tall sometimes, but usually about 4 foot. So that's the Strawberry Lemonade. This one right here is the Dwarf Lemon Ice from our seeds. That one right there is the Taz Chocolate from our seeds. That one right there is the Rosella Purple. This one right here, we have 2 berries Crazy Cherry, and on the back side here, not doing too bad back here, is a Dwarf Mr. Snow. It might be a little crowded, so I might want to spin that to let the bigger tomato. The Berries Crazy Cherry is not necessarily a dwarf style tomato. It does grow a small viney plant, but just a really unique smaller type tomato that we've grown and really like. So the Berries Crazy Cherry and Dwarf Mr. Snow. This one right here is the Purple Heart. Alright, so that's our 8 dwarf varieties right there that we're growing. Purple Heart, Mr. Snow, Berries Crazy Cherry, Mocha's Cherry, Rosella Purple, Taz Chocolate, Strawberry Lemonade, and Lemon Ice. Those are those. And like I'm saying, some of these will have to be separated when they start getting bigger. We'll start out with our major varieties. So this one right here is 2 plants of the Black Beauty tomato. This one right here is 2 plants of the Hawaiian pineapple tomato. This one right here is 1 leggy plant and one struggling a little bit, but this one is the Sartre Royce tomato. This one right here The one on the right here is a Cherokee Green, and it was doing a lot worse recently. And then the other sprouts that we had for the Cherokee Green weren't doing too well. So this one's a Cherokee Green, and this one is a Cherokee Purple. This spot right here is really bad in our yard for some reason. I think it has something to do with this tree that grows right here. A lot of acidic content, I believe, when it rains and things like that. Plus it blocks out the sun in some at some points, but we've always had a little bit of an issue growing out in this end bucket for some reason. We're not quite sure, but the Cherokee Green and the Cherokee Purple side by side right here, just to kind of fill it out. So there's 2 more varieties. This one right here is a new one to us. It's called the Evil Olive. It's a green, like plum cherry, smaller tomato, but looked really cool, and heard a lot of good things about it. So decided to give that one a try. We bought those seeds from Baker's Creek, I believe. This one right here is the Wagner Blue Green. This one right here is one called the Dad Sunset. And then out here we have our black cherry tomatoes. Angel makes sure that this tomato is probably more important than any other tomato in our yard. Angel wants to snack off this every single year. All right, so that's 9 of the varieties, and we have one more. And the one more variety we got from Sprouts as well, just like the Cherokee Purple, is over here on this side right now. And this one is the Sun Gold tomato. So the Sun Gold has always been a grow that I've always kind of shied away from. I've had the tomatoes before, but they weren't in the best estate when I did have them, so it wasn't really a good look. When it comes to the cherry style tomatoes and the smaller style, I know a lot of people will call the Sun Gold their favorite tomato, and there's probably almost an equal number of people will call the black cherry tomato their favorite. The issue with the Sun Gold to me is that the seeds are hybrid-ish. So they're almost hybrids in a way that if I save seeds from those plants, I won't get a true to type Sun Gold. So I know it's a really great type, but a lot of the reason that we grow plants and save seeds from them is to try to keep the varieties in our collection and to keep our collection growing, and to have all the different varieties that we like. So even if the Sun Gold's really good, it's really hard to want to put it in the yard knowing that I can't save the seeds from it or be able to share those seeds as evenly. They're almost trademarked in a sense, where it makes it so that I would have to go out and buy those seeds every year if I wanted to get that one. But I know a lot of people really think it holds up against the black cherry and is a better style cherry tomato, and it's kind of fitting because the black cherry's right here and the Sun Gold's on the other side of the yard right here. So they're almost facing off to see whether or not the black cherry or the Sun Gold. When I do take a look at them and kind of review them in the future, I will make sure that I try to compare them to each other to find out if, you know what I mean, this one really is the best flavored. Like I was saying, even if it was better than this one, which I don't think it will be, just because we have a lot of nostalgia on the black cherry. But we got the Sun Gold, black cherry, Dad Sunset, Wagner Blue Green, the Evil Olive, Cherokee Purple, Cherokee Green, Sart Relois, Hawaiian Pineapple, the Black Beauty, Purple Heart Dwarf, Mr. Snow Dwarf, Barry's Crazy Cherry, Mocha's Cherry, Strawberry Lemonade, Rosella Purple, Taz Chocolate, and Lemon Ice. And so out of all of them too, we already pulled the tags out. We memorize them kind of as we put them in. We spend so much time out in the yard, it's kind of hard to forget them. With the peppers, it'll be a little bit of a difference. But I believe we came up with 26 plants planted in the yard in 15 bins and 18 different varieties. So would have liked to have hit 20. I think I hit 21, 22 varieties last year. This year, we're not growing 3 in the center. We're growing a couple squash and cucumbers are there instead. So kind of pulled it back a little bit, but I was looking at videos for last May, and it looks like we're doing pretty good on the tomatoes. We're a little bit ahead of schedule of where we were from last year. So really excited. This is UT Angel and Kiddo. 18 varieties of tomato. A lot of our goal is to grow as many unique things as we can, and be able to sit down and take a look at them. We don't want to be viewed as tutors. We just like the personal experience. We like to be able to sit down with our friends and family and try something out. Maybe some good and useful information will spill out, maybe not, but really we just like to have fun and see something unique. If you stop having fun out here in your yard, what ends up happening is you get the burnout really fast. We love you guys. We're super excited to grow with you guys this year, and going up full feels good because they've all gotten their legs and we're all ready to move forward now. So I love you guys. I will catch you next time. UT Angel and Kiddo, May 31st of 2023, and love you guys. Thanks for watching.